Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Yao. Can you hear me? So thank you for taking our time. Just a brief introduction. I am the guy who runs that idiotic page on Facebook. Actually, we are a few people. Unfortunately, I am the only one stupid enough to put this sort of a face on it. But we are around 5 people, and we do the reviews and we write shit. The whole idea was that the page has its own following, its own life. Log aate hain, padhte hain. Okay, somehow connect and try to talk to people who've been in the industry, and then you can actually have a conversation. कि यार ये इस तरह है तो क्यों है? ये इस तरह है तो किस तरह improve हो सकता है? So the whole idea is that you and I talk, and I talk to other people as well, and there is a takeaway for young people, for clients, for industry specialists, how to improve the industry overall. हम इसी में काम कर रहे हैं, नेशनल ग्रो करेंगे तो हम ग्रो करेंगे, that is what it is. So that's the very brief idea of doing the show. Having said this, I will continue to bash all the ads I see or I feel are shitty. Again, I always tell people get very aggressive, and I'm like, dude, this is just my opinion. मैं कोई नहीं हूँ, पत्थर पर लकीर वाला नहीं हूँ, but I'm just trying to be the asshole that everyone needs. Let's start with a brief background of who you are.
So, now when I started my career, which was 18 years ago, I used to say I'm a storyteller and I will change the world. Now I'm a working creative. That's it. I'm a creative who is doing a job. And that's pretty much what my role is right now. When somebody starts his career in advertising, I graduated from Karachi University, took my degree in communication design, and I thought when I graduated that I will do advertising that will change the world. And I thought, na to main sabun bechunga, I will not sell cooking oils, I will just do good. Somebody referred me to Tanaz Benwala. She was the editor at large at Herald Publication. So that's when I joined, and I thought I will work in social marketing. And this is a time when Javed Jabbar was bringing in a lot of work from USAID for contraceptives in Pakistan. And I started doing that Do Bacche Wali campaign and Khushal Gharana campaigns from Spectrum. And I thought, this is it. We used to work with truck drivers and hospitals and underage women who were giving sort of birth to children at the age of 15 and 13 and 14. And I thought, this is it. And slowly and gradually, I was told by Mazhar, who was a brilliant creative, and he said, Tera kuch nahi hoga career ka. You will not go anywhere till you start doing mainstream work. Then that just hit me that, will I be okay being this forever and not grow in my career? And by that point, I realized that Urdu copywriter were also concept writers. There was already a lot of resistance towards art school kids because people thought, oh, they are privileged ones. Ye art school chale gaye, to cool ban ke aa gaye. And the art directors were traditional art directors trained from Pakistan Chalk primarily, and few from Karachi School of Art. Indus was supposed to be frivolous ones. I in my internship kari chale gaye. And when Mazhar told me that, your career will not go anywhere, I started seeking out for real briefs from FMCG brands. And I thought, agar tankha nahi badhegi, so how will I move on from F11 bus to a Mehran or, to something? And I started doing mainstream work. And the moment that happened, you get your first Mehran. And then, you start enjoying it, of course, because you thought, oh, so Mazhar was right. This is it. I have to just sell detergents and all of that. And that's when I got picked by Saatchi and I came to Saatchi. And that just changed the trajectory completely of my career, because then you are working for one of the most mainstream agencies in the country. What they do is that they sell things better than anyone. They are not hungry for rewards. They are hungry for rewards, which they get a lot. They still have the biggest portfolio because somehow they work, the clients don't move. And they know the business of advertising. They are not delusional, calling themselves an art house agency or someone who is here to win awards. They are here to increase the retainer, pay people on time, pay really good money, and also retain the business. And I think one thing IL has always been very clear, that if you're not making money, you will not be able to give money. The most difficult work is to do mainstream work. And I remember Ali Rez joined Saatchi at that point in time. He came back from San Francisco and had all these great ideas. Those ideas were not mainstream. Those were amazing ideas, but you can imagine a boardroom and the clients are like, what is he talking about? Those clients wanted ke 30 second ka ishtihar hai, 8 second ka built up, 90 second pe hamara brand aa jaye aur aurat ke haath mein ho. So you pretty much have the dictation of how to sell a brand. And that's what IL champions, how to sell a brand. And I think that, of course, I was there for 8 years, and then for the last 5 years at JWT Grey. So now I refer myself as a working creative. I sell things. That's it. One thing we all have to realize that, and I talk about myself, I'm not here to, talk about anyone else, that I started a job because अब्बा ने नौकरी करी, भाई ने नौकरी करी graduation के बाद, तो मुझे नौकरी करनी है. And the नौकरी in middle class household means bringing money home. I am not delusional of the reality that, oh, I will not do this and I will not do this. I wish I had that kind of high morals to live up to. I have a family to feed. So when you are 23, 24, starting a career, starting making money, contributing at home, a lot change because you start seeing the process of how the industry will pay you. At the end of the day, you on the 30th, you're waiting for that salary. So, and that salary comes when when a client green lights a project. Otherwise, most of the good work will never see daylight. It has to be greenlit. If my project is not greenlit, I'm of no use. I'm not a bankable creative. So right now I'm a working creative. Most of the work I do gets a green light. Maybe it's mediocre, maybe it's not, but that runs an office. That I'm not delusional about at this age now. There's another side to it. Who started advertising in Pakistan? Businessman. चावलों का कारोबार था किसी की travel agency थी, किसी का bookie office था. They started advertising in the 70s just like that. Because this was a business. We had a channel in the late 60s and 70s. We started making ads. So ये जो advertising करने लोग अभी भी बैठे हैं, the top 5 families, they are business people. They have other businesses. Advertising is one of the business they are in. Pick any in the country. So आपके ख्याल में जो चावल और धनिया बेच कर आया है, वो you think they are passionate about creativity? Right now, when the Seth Saab is sitting in the fanciest possible office, he is looking at what is my bottom line, and if I'm not meeting that number, replace that creative who is charging X amount of money with a fresh intern or a fresh graduate, ideally a girl, because it's entertaining to have them around at work. That reality is not changing. It will not change. I was once requested by a CEO, I won't take any names and he said in a very particular Urdu, and he said, यार वो client का phone आया तो वो कह रहा है शाम में लड़कियां भेज दें दो copywriter. And I said, for what? And he said, वो brief देंगे उनको 6 बजे के बाद. I said, what brief are we talking about here? And he said, he's waiting. So I said, why don't you send your own daughters? Because and that is something that is a reality of the business that nobody talks about. That maybe poor Jami talks about it. People don't. We just love to gaslight this entire issue and look in a different direction. So when I see your comments on on your feed on Facebook, it is entertaining. And half the time I read the comments and people like, इनको काम नहीं आता, इंडिया से सीख के ऐसे साले यहाँ पे आके बैठे तो हम पूछे agency for a day, fight with that incompetent CEO or an incompetent client service guy or a client who will put his feet up and say कि आपसे अच्छा काम तो मेरी 3 साल की बेटी कर लेती है. And which we all have heard.
Advertising is a toxic industry. ये आप बात कर रहे हो सेठ की, मैं मल्टीनेशनल के साथ काम करता था. Who selected people client servicing की बच्ची कितनी हॉट है. मेरे सीवी पे उसने क्या कहा इसकी बच्ची यार ये वाली किससे इंटरव्यू हुआ था. मल्टीनेशनल. Fuck that. की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. लेके वहाँ पे हेड ऑफ कम्युनिकेशंस कहते हैं कि यार ये बच्चियां हैं 2-3 दिन के इंटरव्यू कराओ, हाँ ये वाली सेट है इसको मेरे ब्रांड पे लगा दो. What is going on, man?
There was this client, we went there. It was a government client. I was working at Saatchi and we went there. And the marketing director was sitting on this old office, National Bank ki jaisa office tha koi with feet up. And he made us wait for 45 minutes. And we like, okay, you know how clients are. And then he said कि आप लोग अपने डिफेंस के ऑफिसों से आते हैं, आपको क्या लगता है हम आपको फौरन entertain करेंगे. And we realized that the amount of animosity they have because they feel like an agency is not a partner. And that's the biggest problem in Pakistan. They think you're a vendor.
Let me stop you there. Well, let's start this conversation. So I'll just put a question to you for that. One of the biggest problem I feel is this cultural thought process which is inculcated in all young brand managers, multinationals भी हो जाएं, सेट हो जाएं कि एजेंसी आपका वेंडर है, ठीक है, और आपने इसको वेंडर का ट्रीट करना है. Nobody treats you as a business partner. Do you think that this can be changed?
In all honesty, this is a Pakistan problem. Anybody sitting on a powerful position or in any capacity of power, they will treat the most vilified as the subservient one, because that will give them a different hard-on about their power position. And that can be any gender. I have known ABMs who were in a position of power to make a decision and they will just go against you because they have the power. It's not just a state, it's your biggest multinational. It's your biggest telcos. They are so cocky because they know that this is a short stint. In that short stint, they have to embrace the power, find the next possible gig, make enough khanchas from out of home, BTL, hoarding, talent, anything to make as much money as possible. Otherwise, how else will they drive an Audi? Like how? Who is paying this? Abba was driving FX all his life. How is he affording? So for that, they will always treat agency as a vendor. And the biggest example, you go to any boardroom in Pakistan, any boardroom, any top 10 clients that we have in the country, and they will say, oh, we love the idea. But can we do it this way? And if you start arguing and fight, they will say, यार हम NGO वाले सा काम नहीं करते. नहीं जी आप ये मत करिए और आप research लेके जाएंगे. I know clients who will completely disregard research also. They like, yeah, but अगर research ही करवानी है, तो फिर मैं यहाँ क्यों बैठा हूँ? But as long as you're treating them like a vendor, you will never see good work coming out. Like in my entire career, there was, National Foods for a little bit, because the CEO and the owner was also incredibly humble. There was Nepal for a very short while. Shell, I won't refer because Shell is a Gora client, and globally they were doing phenomenal work, but there are so few. What happens is that, so you are a CEO of an agency and I'm a marketing director. Your creative started pushing for an idea. I will call you and say, Creative X was very pushy. The next thing you know, Creative X will get somehow a warning or a termination that you are being very pushy. So tomorrow for the same meeting, the same creative will become on a complete pussyfoot. He'll be like, sorry, yaar, naukri bachao boss abhi. I will not get another gig. And there are only 6 agencies in the country. Where will I go now?
इसी बात से मुझे एक बात आई. I remember I was in a meeting with Castrol, और I had these two really kick-ass creative and strategy वाली ladies. And हम लोग brief उन्होंने भेजी, हम brief लेके गए तो डायरेक्टर मार्केटिंग बैठा हुआ था, उसके साथ उनके ब्रांड मैनेजर बैठे हुए थे. And my strategy person and my creative director, they started having a conversation और सवाल से सवालात निकलते गए, and they started questioning the brief जो डायरेक्टर मार्केटिंग ने साइन ऑफ की हुई थी. And by the time वो हम मीटिंग करके वापस आए तो कराची में ट्रैवल टाइम आपको पता है एक जगह से दूसरे का पौना घंटा लग जाता है. बाय द टाइम वी केम बैक, आरसी गेट पे चौकीदार ने कहा कि तो सीधा जरा वो आपको सीईओ साहब बुला रहे हैं. मैं बड़े मजे से गया, लाइक व्हाट द फक डिड यू डू? आई जस्ट वेंट फॉर अ मीटिंग. कहते द डायरेक्टर मार्केटिंग हैज कॉल्ड अप एंड सेड दैट द एजेंसी केम देयर डिलिबरेटली trying to make him look stupid in front of his subordinates. And like, no, I will show you the minutes of the meeting. It was just a question answer session. And वो creative बेचारी को उन्होंने पे साइड पे कर दिया, strategy वाले को भी साइड पे कर दिया. तो वो बेचारे, as you're right, it happens all the time. You get kicked off.
That's a problem on both sides of the business, not just the client, but also the agency. And till they realize that no client will walk in for the HR director or for the client service director, they will walk in for ideas. Jab we don't realize that, the business will not progress. The primary role of client service in most of the agencies is to keep the clients entertained. That's it. Not convincing them on an idea because they don't know how to do that. I pretty much know a lot of client service people who have dyed bhabhiyon ke dupatte, dropped kids to school, things of entertainment, whatever beverage of choice, Cuban cigars, pick and drop to, of course, सासों को घर छोड़ के आना, साउथ सिटी लेके जाना. So in a business where you are using your client management for this, trying to retain business, there is something wrong in that from the get-go, because you know tomorrow somebody else will entertain them more. कोई और इमराव जान आ जाएगी और ये फिर बेचारे फीके लग रहे होंगे ना. So as long as we don't realize that, what do we sell here? Ideas. Ideas come from creatives.
Your conversation, yes, I agree 200%. के clients creative खरीदते हैं और ideas at end में हमने वो बेचना होता है. But मैंने जो देखा है, and personally I always tell my team and the people that who reported to me is that client servicing जो proper करते हैं ना, वो आपके आइडिया को बचा भी सकते हैं, because how they manage the relationship, they can either save it. कोई client आपको आपके आइडिया की वजह से फायर नहीं करता, ठीक है, या आपके टीवीसी, मैंने काम किया हुआ है ऐसे एजेंसी के साथ, आपके टीवीसी 3 कैन हो गए जी, फकअप हो गया था. द क्लाइंट विल फायर यू बिकॉज ऑफ द फकअप्स ऑफ ईदर योर डायरेक्टर क्लाइंट सर्विसिंग और योर सीईओ, या उससे आके एंड में नाराज होकर छोड़ता है.
See, so you look at the biggest telcos that have moved in the last 5 years. They have left the agency, not the creatives. That says a lot about the way we manage business, and that comes from the management. Now, if the management is not inclusive enough to have a creative on the board as the management committee, how will they realize our problems? Because we are easily replaceable in their heads. You know, if I ask you, and Mariam Ali Beg, who is editor at large for Aurora magazine, and I asked her last year that what is the ranking of creatives in the country? You look at Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, India, they have the top 5 copywriters, the top 5 Hindi copywriters, jingle writers, art directors, creative directors, and of course, there's a global ranking also. In Pakistan, we never had that. Because how will we find? How will you identify that in which agency, which Sindhi copywriter is amazing? I'll say Uzma Baloch is amazing. You'll be like, who is Uzma Baloch? I've never heard her name. So if it's just Atiya, me, Zehra, Kiran Murad, who have been in the industry now for almost 20 years or slightly longer. Who are the other people around? You don't know them. We don't know them. I'm in the industry and I don't know them because they're working in organizations where they will never come on top. Forget coming on top, where they will never be seen or heard, because the environment is designed in a way where they will never get the limelight, because people are so insecure within the agency unit. Forget the clients, where people will say, yeah, keep them at a distance because we can't trust them. If we tell them they are very good, they might ask for more money. They might ask for a bonus. If we say you are not good, that's the perfect way, because if they will leave, we know we have a replacement, someone cheaper, because it's not that they will replace that person with somebody with equal talent. Look at the big telcos that have moved from a big retainer to a small retainer, asking for the same head count, but not the same heads. You can't replace what Atiya was bringing to a table by someone who has 2 years of experience. That's not the model that you see even in Bangladesh in advertising. Why are they winning Cannes every year? Is because the agencies are investing in their own people. Secondly, I think we need to be very, very aware that the business has to be managed where nobody should feel hurt, not the client financially, not the agency financially, but you have to be respectful, which we are not. In the boardrooms, you just get dictations. And within the dictation, you try to find कि अच्छा कम से कम दुपट्टा मेरी पसंद का आ जाए. That's pretty much it. Because आप अपने ठरके कहाँ निकालेंगे? For the longest time of my career, when I was doing song and dance ads, because everybody wanted us to do that, and so the max creativity is that nahi, maybe we're gonna put not this jhumka but this bali, because I thought that's pretty much it. That's the way the country was functioning and working. And anyone who was saying that I will change the narrative was thrown out. We were all scared, where will we go from here? I mean, how many great freelancers do we know in the country? None.
मुझे बताएं कि do you see this changing? Because coming back to your point, and you're very right कि हमने अपना advertising का कोई culture, कोई personality develop नहीं की. And to your point that you had highlighted earlier, that a lot of countries have their own advertising personality. We've all seen the Thailand emotional ads. We have seen the British one that you talked about, and we have seen the loud American ads. So and India KB, so India I feel is very, their personalities they're very real in terms of what they do. They accept who they are. Why haven't we developed it? And do you see us developing a personality in any time in the future?
I don't think so. See, ads are also a visual medium. Advertising is primarily a visual medium. So when you look at India, cinema was for escapism and ads were real. Since they have the streaming platform became all realism driven, and then they started making movies that were some aspirational, some fantastical, and some not. And then ads have inherited that realism, because most of the great filmmakers in India right now all coming from ad industry. They were trained doing those on the ground of doing those amazing ads, but there was a parallel narrative of escapism and realism. And same in the West, same in pretty much the rest of the world. In Pakistan, because we didn't have a cinema culture for a very long time since Zia Saab came in power, our dramas became real. They were reflecting the common man's problem. The ads became aspirational. The ads became a great source of escapism. When you look at those elaborate Allpers ads, big house, beautiful Iman Ali and Vanessa and everyone. And that's the time when Musharraf Shah was in power. And people like Zuhair Khalid was behind Mobiling. And there was a one-word brief: make it aspirational. So people are starting investing in those brands because they feel like, oh, my reality is not like this, but I like this reality. Because घरों में तो पानी नहीं आ रहा, नाले भरे में, गलियों के अंदर कचरा है, 8 बच्चे हैं, बिजली नहीं है. Ads are just beautiful. Exactly maybe what Karan Johar was doing through cinema. So now over here in Pakistan, people don't have a window of entertainment. If we start showing them the same reality in ads, they're like, ye kya? ये तो हमारे घर के अंदर ही हो रहा है. I have been doing Lux for the last 6 years, and I remember once we went on a research, and in my head I thought that, you know, this female protagonist is wearing a gown. Who wear gown in Pakistan? You think you'll go into my house and somebody will be wearing a gown? That's not possible. And you know, we ask the female audience who are from socioeconomic bracket, middle class socioeconomic bracket was SECB, from Gujranwala, and we say, well, what do you think of this? And they're like, ये तो dream sequence है ना. They loved it because they thought ये तो dream है. So ads are dreams. The moment they see an ounce of reality, they change the channel, because you are making an ad to sell the larger chunk of population. Look at their viewing habits. They watch Bulbule and Jeeto Pakistan. That's their intellect. And I'm not mocking them because I'm one of them. I will be stupid to think that no, they all have read Faiz or वो तो अख्तरी फैजाबादी को सुन के आगे बढ़े हैं. They are right now, IQ is being conditioned by Bulbule the show and Jeeto Pakistan. So we can't disregard that. You know, when you look at around the world, there might be trashy content, but they always have been great content coming out. The biggest drama that we have in 2020 has been Mere Paas Tum Ho. What intelligent stimulation that is done to the brain. Till your larger chunk of population start realizing that they are not getting any dose of smartness, they will not change. So anyone who is watching Bulbule, you can't sell them a TV concept which is smarter, which requires brain work. How can you? It's unfair to them. 70% इस मुल्क की आबादी मुजरे और बब्बू बराल का थिएटर देख के बड़ी हुई है ना.
Babu Baral is legendary, bro.
I love Babu Baral. The same humor is now on TikTok. Exactly same humor. It is that blue collar humor that has taken over TikTok Pakistan. Who is on TikTok Pakistan? You have the transgenders, you have the ladies of the night, you have lots of boys who love other boys, and you have that kind of blue collar humor. So in a market like that, how many smarter campaigns do you expect?
I was watching this. This is Anwar Maqsood and Bilal Maqsood. Bilal did this Instagram live. Asked the question कि Anwar साहब, why don't you write? He said, writers सब मर गए हैं, तो फिर मैं क्यों लिखूं? And he's right.
So I'll give you a small example. People ask me every single time that आप तो सिर्फ खूबसूरत लोगों को इश्तिहारों में लेते हैं. And I hear that every day when I'm doing casting. So the most popular play in the last 20 years in Pakistan is Humsafar. So if you look at the structure, there is a good girl who covers her head, wears shalwar kameez, pray 5 times, got into an arranged marriage, husband kicked her out, mother-in-law kicked her out, but she remained a good girl, and she was girl in shalwar kameez. The bad girl was the one wearing western, doing a job with Fawad, eventually killed herself. You are giving uniform to characters and to people's morals. So when a girl who is sitting in junk, you know, whose only entertainment is maybe her phone or her television, we look at the girl in a western wear and say, ये तो 2 number औरत है. Because मैंने उस ड्रामे में देखा है. The same Maya Khan, when her pictures got leaked, when she's wearing a western dress, they're like, hi, Gashti. And that's the biggest problem that Hum TV has done. The same thing came into television ads also, or any ads for that matter. All the mothers are good in our ads. Never make an angry face. वो तो मियाँ को भी ये प्यार दे रही हैं, बच्चों को भी खाने बना के दे रही हैं, 4 तरह के nuggets. Who are these mothers? My mother will say, no, can't do that shit anymore, and they look perfect. Our viewing habits are so. There is a bigger problem of not having a visual identity of Pakistan. We don't have a visual identity. When Jami make film, people think it's Irani cinema ko chapa hai. When Asim make film, they say it's Hindi film ko chapa hai. When Moor came out, everybody thought this is Iranian cinema, this is not Pakistan. When Asim made film, they're like, nahi, ye to bilkul inhone Zoya Akhtar ki filmon ko chap diya hai. Because we don't know what our cinema should look like. When Shoaib Saab Bichare made film, they're like, the drama lag raha hai. That's the biggest criticism Bol faced, Khuda Ke Liye faced, and Varna faced, that his films look like dramas. So this conundrum will never end, and that will also get reflected on our advertising, that we don't know what advertising is referred as Pakistani ad. If I ask you, you are reviewing ads for the last 10 years, for example. What makes a Pakistani ad?
Shitty content and no idea.
There you go. So at least we have done that. There is a bigger problem there. And I'm talking about mainstream advertising. I'm talking about selling dahi, tel, sabun, shampoo, kapda. I'm not talking about doing a socially relevant campaign. I'm not talking about any other work, not kola kaise bechna hai, patti kaise bechni hai, because that's what my job, what I do. I'm a mainstream creative.
What's the closest you think that we have come? कोई ऐसी चीज है जो आप कह सकते हो कि ये पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिकेशन को रिफ्लेक्ट करती है कल्चर?
मुझे जाने की तो नियत ही नहीं है ना. Right now, the most watched Pakistani ad on YouTube has been Rhythm of Unity, which was done by Goras.
Excuse me?
I know everyone.
You know who's done it. Okay, I have done it, you have done it, my proposed son has done it, and my ex-wife has also directed it. Everybody has done it.
They were part of it, but if you call Shanur Ahmad, who was looking after that entire campaign, and he will tell you it was all conceived and done by Parang, Gori Chamdi, not us. You know, and the reason why, you must be too young, but National Geographic came to Pakistan at one point in time, and they did the cover with Tahira Syed, the legendary singer. They dressed her up in a courtesan-like dress, sitting at Lahore Fort playing a sitar. Because they thought we are the sasta version of India and Taj Mahal, and that's pretty much it. Rhythm of Unity is the same. You're looking at a monument and a fort like it is a fort, and you put some dancers and you feel like that's pretty much it. But we continued with that pattern forever. Now, after Islamization, whenever we put a song and dance wala ad, they're like hi hi haram. Siwai aurtein nachwane ke inko kuch nahi aata. I remember I did Gala 100 years ago. And it was a biscuit brand. Everyone just trashed it. The same people are now doing cheaper versions of that. Who mocked it, I know, are selling biscuit and biscuit with the similar kind of ladkiyan nachwa ke. So, as long as we are clear कि हम जो कर रहे हैं ये किसी वजह से कर रहे हैं, not being delusional about it, I will not turn back and say कि नहीं मैं तो नहीं नचवाऊंगा. Of course, that's what the requirement of the brand was. So this will not change till we all align that there's something wrong. You look at P&G doing phenomenal work in India. Why not here? You see Unilever is doing great work from India and Bangladesh. Why not in Pakistan? A lot of brands that are here, Gillette, doing amazing work from India. It's my agency, Grey, is doing it. Why not here? I know the same creative heads, a lot of them who have been taking great ideas to them. I know Zehra is doing it, Akia is doing it, Kiran Murad is doing it. Why not? Why haven't we got successful?
I think there's another bigger issue, which is also the fact that liberty, badi markets को ज़्यादा मिलती है. The bigger the market, the more say I feel that the creative agencies also have, or they can push the limits as well. जब आपने पाकिस्तान में जिलेट बेचना है literally कोई 1000 बंदे को, obviously I'm exaggerating, so they'll be like, अच्छा बस ठीक है ना, lift and shift करो, खत्म करो.
No, but there's a bigger problem there. If you right now ask any marketer what is their ROI, sales lead to bonus leads to a vacation in US. The ROI is not good work. The ROI is work that sells product. If that is being sold by actually adapting something content that was done in India or in any other world, that's pretty much it. That never exhausts the one who is doing it, because you are just saying कि वहाँ से उठा के काम फिलीपींस से यहाँ पे चला तो research में आ गया, green light हो गई. ROI is your bottom line. How much profitable you were there, and that's what gets you a bonus. Pick any marketer whose ROI actually has doing good work. Because see, they come for 3 years on a brand, then their rotation. So they will do one brand, hop on to another, hop on to another. Why will they be interested? They will just go do a campaign that delivers on exactly what the ask was. Do they think they care about me or anyone else? No, they don't care if we die tomorrow. What happened to people working before me? Where is Farhanaz Haider? Where is Sineen Khan? Where are they from advertising? What happened to them? Died. Incredible creative minds. What happened to them? Kahan gaye ye sare log? So I was saying that the moment you turn 40, they're like, oh, now what we should do with you, because you're not young enough. So they either started looking on the marketing side, start consultation. Where will they go? So we are also youth obsessed, vanity obsessed, but not idea obsessed.
Coming back to Yavar, the same point that you haven't developed an industry, and अगर आपका कल्चर ही एक इंडस्ट्री का डेवलप नहीं हुआ, एक पर्सनालिटी ही डेवलप नहीं हुई, अगर उस नॉलेज की शेयरिंग आगे जाना जरूरी नहीं है, तो इसका मतलब है तो ओल्डर यू, आप वाली बात 40 के बाद रिडंडेंट है, मैं कोई नया बच्चा उठा के कोई बकवास चीज कर लूंगा. आप ग्लोबली देख लें, द पीयूष पांडे इन इंडिया इज गॉड. He would probably start an advertising religion. These people were individuals इनके, they are held in such a level of respect that it's fucking insane. And I think that's one of the reasons why India as a market has developed, gone on to do such amazing work, because they still hold their creatives in high regard.
But that's not the case here. We are not appreciative generally as humans. We are not. We don't appreciate things or good things or finer things. We don't appreciate people who are smarter, people who have an idea. We don't. And this I'm talking about within the agency unit. Forget client. Forget the people at large. Forget your. I'm talking about within the agency's four wall. The one coming up with ideas is the least appreciated one and the easiest to replace. Easiest to replace. What happens is that you pick up a fight, reaches to HR. They're like, what brands that he's looking after? शायद दो client मसला करें, उनको हम संभाल लेंगे, tension नहीं है.
Acha, I would like to talk about one of the best campaigns to come out of Pakistan, and I have loved it. I have actually, literally, not exaggerating, I've cried when I saw it, just because of the fact that मेरी उसको देख के फट गई थी. And that's the Shell campaign, the Shell TVCs. उसका थोड़ा सा मुझे जरा background दे दे.
So, in all honesty, you do some good things in your life, and God give you a good client. So Maliha is the woman in charge at Shell, and she's just phenomenally brilliant. Usually Shell was running in Pakistan their South Asian content for the longest possible time, and she came to us and she's like, well, we have this content from India and one we have from Vietnam, and I just told her that, I said, we are an agriculture state, we have truck drivers who have been here for generations, so why can't we tell our own story? She's like, sure, do it. We did the script and we said they are too long, and she said, well, it's regional channels, don't worry about it, as long as you manage the money. And then I'm lucky to have Jami in my life, who I think is one of the most honest and earnest creative, who I'm obsessed with, and I refer to him as a friend because he is genuinely. I went to him and I said, we have to do this, very little money. He's like, boss, don't worry. And before Shell, I was doing work with only models and good-looking people. And I remember we started off with casting, and Saima assists Jami. She's amazing. And she showed me the casting of all the truck drivers, the real truck drivers. And I said, well, can we have someone good-looking, because they all look so real. And Jami is like, boss, isme khubsurti hum dhoondenge. We moved on to do that. But for that, we actually were living with the drivers for 3 weeks. We had a structure of what we wanted, but then when we met the real truck drivers and the real farmers, the story evolved, because I had a superficial, of course, understanding of what a driver looks like, because we had seen it in other ads that you cast somebody who looks Pathan and that's pretty much it. Then we met the real ones and we saw the phate hue haath and the phate toote hue nakhun and all of that. So that's how that campaign came into existence, and we were lucky to have a director on board and a client on board who gave us a free hand, because they greenlit this project, and we got a director who said, I don't care how much money you have, but I will be on this journey with you. And I think Jami has continued to do that for me, whether it was Khadi or Shell, where he's like, boss, don't worry, I'm here for you. And I think he is the only director we have in the country who will take this kind of a financial risk. Everybody has to run an office or organization. Jami won't. So I think the project got likability from people like you, who we respect and appreciate, is because the intent was right. Whenever nobody was asking for khacha, nobody was asking ke ye to sahi hai lekin koi ladki ka intezam ho sakta hai ki nahi, touching their nose. So wo nahi tha, which is pretty much the practice we have in the industry, because everyone who came on the project, so whether it was the costume designer, and she went to the Landa market, and then we picked the clothes and we dyed the clothes in tea water to give the age, because you can't put new clothes on them, and some of the wardrobe was borrowed from the real drivers. Then the dirt on the fingernails, it has to be that kind of gritty, make it believable, and not a cosmetic project. And again, like I said, I was staying at a decent hotel. Jami was actually sleeping with the drivers. Like, Jami had his palang charpai attached to a truck, and Jami was surviving on uble ve aloo 3 weeks. I wasn't. And I remember we were shooting in Balochistan. There was like no one there except for the film crew and one vanity van that Jami got for me, because Jami, where will I pee? Because I will not go out in the mountain, but Jami will just make sure that his talent is happy and his intent is always so pure, because he wants to do a good job. And I think that's where whatever work that man has done, it's coming from a genuine place. It's coming from a good place because he is an incredibly good human. And we had just very few handful who are not into anything else.
And shout out to the client as well. I think आपने mention किया था Mehreen.
Is incredible. And I was working with their global team in Malaysia also, and they were just now talking about the clients. So I had the great time working with the VP in the Malaysia office. And when we presented the creative idea to them, this guy sort of, bowed in front of us and he said, "This is the best I have seen." How many clients do we have who say, "Yaar, अच्छा काम किया है"? None over here, because they feel like अभी अच्छा बोल दिया तो फिर हमारी इसमें से क्या रह गई. The culture of clients over here who will also have another version of the TV script also कि ये तो मैंने रात को लिख लिया था.
मैंने बेगम से पूछा था, बेगम ने मुझे एक आइडिया दिया तो मैंने ऐड कर लिया उसके अंदर.
And people just might think in this when they hear this conversation that हम शायद झूठ बोल रहे हैं. I hear this still today in 2020 July कि रात को आपकी भाभी को ये आइडिया आया और मैंने ये लिख लिया है. और भाभी ने कहा है कि ज़ारा नूर अब्बास को बोलें 10 किलो कम कर ले तो उसको ले लें. So this is we are talking about in today's time. It's not one of those fictional things that we hear. This is reality in Pakistan. But I think what we want is more good clients. And when I say good clients, it's clients who believe that there is a power in an idea, and that client can come from anywhere. It can be a Coca-Cola, it can be your Brighter Paint, it can be any local client also. What we just need is someone to have believe in an idea. The moment we start doing that, we will start respecting the one who come up with that idea and everything else around. Right now, any ad that gets released in Pakistan, there's a credit list of 1,500 people. And then you know that I'm talking about my own agency. It's a shitty ad and the 15 people have got credit for it. And then I will say, please remove my name from it because it is a bad product. Why do we have to write the name from the janitor to the CEO? Like, what is the purpose? You give the credit to that copywriter. You give the credit to that person who came up with that idea. That's pretty much it. We don't want to know line producer कौन था, चौथे कैमरे पे कौन था. That should be for the director and the production house to document, not the audience at large. It's not required. And it's a bad ad. I'm talking about my own work. Shitty fucking ad. And then end credit is longer than how much he's thinking of that idea. More word count. So hopefully that needs to change. Also, I think the moment creatives started leading an agency, things will change.
Do you mean in management positions, CEOs?
I think in any position where they can drive a vision. How many people know who is the CEO of BBDO is, but they know only Rez? Well, we all can see the amount of awards they are gaining. And I think in all honesty, they are very clear. They have PepsiCo to provide sort of certain amount of money to the organization. Then they have the best brains to work with. There's Hira Mohibullah, there's of course Ali Rez, and there's Atiya and everyone else around them. So do we know any other people from that organization except for creatives? No, I don't know. I'm in the business.
ओहो, आप चाहते हैं कि हमारे यहाँ पे insecurities खत्म हो जाए overnight? ये कैसे हो सकता है? How will that happen?
I think one day, you start seeing this in India also, that creatives are now managing partners. Those creatives are not just doing frivolous work that's not turning into money and just awards. They're actually bringing hardcore moolah to the table. They have established name versus the actual management of the organization. So that needs to happen. I would love to see Sharjeel, who's looking after Manhattan, to push the name more than the CEO of the organization, because eventually the clients want work and ideas. And once they see a creative in power also, they will feel like this person must be smart to reach this position, not just some emotional being who want to create and embellish his own story. ना चौकियां आपको ऐड है ना, वो अपने खर्चे पे बनाइएगा, हमारे नहीं. ये अपनी ठरकियां आप लोग वहां निकालिएगा. म्यूजिक क्यों कर लें आप लोग, ऐसा करें कुछ.
Oh, yes, I've asked you, what do you think of the ad management? What should I be doing more?
So, in all honesty, what you're doing is great. I don't know if you're familiar with Tehelka magazine in India, that Tehelka is a case study. What they started highlighting issues that was faced in the parliament and in the business community, but also highlighting that this is by design. Whatever is not working is by design. So I think what you also needs to do, because we keep on highlighting the khanchas and this and kashtibazi and all of that, and people who are horny for a position or a seat, this is not ad hoc. It is working for someone. Maybe not for me, but it is working for that business community. What AdMatDude is doing and should do more is to identify the fault in our stars. What is the reason that we are producing mediocre work? Who is green lighting it? Because, yes, we all love to like and gain likes and shares and all of that, and that's all brilliant because that keeps the page rolling. But it also leads to that ये खबीस काम निकला इस जलील इंसान के अप्रूवल की वजह से, बिकॉज जब तक उसको नहीं अंदाजा होगा ना कि कहीं ना कहीं उसकी जिम्मेदारी थी अच्छा काम निकालना, things will not change. And I think that's, you guys have fan following, which is brilliant. It's not that you have always praised the work that I've done, whether from Saatchi or Gray, but I'm here because I respect the point of view and the voice. I can disagree, but that's completely fine. But I need to be tolerant enough to hear your point of view and appreciate it, that no, what he is saying or AdMatDude is saying means something to a lot of people. But I think it should not just be all noise, because then we go from one ad to another, start mocking from, and at times I read that when you're not doing a spicy review, they feel like is dafa halka ho gaya aapka review bhi. It doesn't have to be Veena Malik every single time. No, it has to be something that leads to a conversation, and a conversation that needs to bring some kind of change. And I think you can do that because you have the power of community. You got Ali Rez, you got Jami. I know you will have a lot of other people. We are all supporting you. You might disagree with us tomorrow, but use that power in a way to change the narrative.
So again, so the whole idea of this, having this show is maybe the first step towards that. Like, I have loved this industry. I've hated this industry. I've had all the emotions that I can relate to this industry. I have probably hated on your ads. I'm pretty sure I've hated on a lot of people's ads.
In all honesty, I'm very appreciative of that. And the reason why, when you messaged me for this, and I said, I have to do it because whenever your page has highlighted things that are not right, we're all aware of that. In all honesty, every time you comment about something or you post something, it's not a surprise to anyone in the industry. Everyone was aware when they were doing bad work.
When you're writing a concept, you know it better than I do. And every other creative knows it. Okay, yeah, I'm creating 30 or this ad is good. Everybody knows it. I've also worked with creative who goes, yaar, ye dekho, pehli line maine kya likhi hai. Shot opens on a beach in Thailand. And that's a fucking big idea. That is how this got. मेरी client से बात हुई थी, हमने Thailand जाना, तो मैंने beach जो है ना, I'm like, how the fuck is that an idea? What the fuck are you talking about?
I met someone who did Tarang at one point, and they said they went to Turkey and they were shooting Tarang. And when they set up the camera and everything, the client sort of checked from the viewfinder and said, Lahore lag raha hai bilkul. So the person responsible said that we should have shot this in Lahore. He's like, yeah, but look around. So, we have been on shoots where we try to make Poland look like Pakistan or Turkey look like Lahore. As long as that agenda is not clear, we will never progress.
It was lovely talking to you, Yawar. I think I really enjoyed it, dude. You are, it turns out you were somebody who knows his shit and who knows everything that is unfair and bakwas. And here is wishing you all the best of luck with everything that you do.
Your page grow and your subscribers grow to a great number, and may you be the winds of change that we need.
If anything comes up, if I want to talk about anything, I'll get in touch and I'll see if you're free and then we'll connect.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Yawar. Take care.